How do we ever take care of anybody if we can't take care of ourselves? And love is very important. We're humans and we all need love. It's human nature. So, on a really bad day, even I have bad days, I always just ask myself, what is it that I most need today? And let's see if I can do that. Maybe it's an activity. Maybe it's a day of rest. Maybe it's a soak in a bath. I don't know. But it's always like, what is it that I need today to love myself and feed my own soul so that I can be better tomorrow or better this afternoon or whatever the circumstance is.
Welcome to the Live, Love, Survive, Thrive podcast that helps you embrace life's challenges, grow through adversity, and discover your true potential. I'm your host, Dr. Kimberly, anti-aging dentist, widow, author, and inspirational coach. I live by the Can I philosophy, constant and never-ending improvement, and I'm here to help you do the same. Each week, we'll dive into real conversations, powerful stories, and practical tools to help you heal, grow, and thrive. Whether you're rebuilding after loss or ready to step into a more purposeful life, this space is for you. Let's grow, evolve, and thrive together. Good morning, everybody. Kimberly here from Live, Love, Survive, Thrive. And, today is a special day. We are celebrating some big things in June. As you know, my husband passed away 7 years ago in June. And we also had our anniversary of where we met and so forth. And so this is a big month for me personally. And then it's also a Father's Day today. So we're interviewing on days that are special days. And so today I have a special guest. She's a certified life and grief coach, and her name is Camille. And I met Camille through the internet, and basically she has a great story to share. A little bit about her. I'm going to give you a little synopsis before I introduce her and she can tell you a little bit more, is that she's a certified life coach and grief coach, including trauma coach, who helps people rebuild meaningful, purposeful lives after devastating loss. So she's had the experience of the suicide of her 18-year-old son. And then she also had an end of a 27-year-old marriage and multiple life-altering changes. So Camille combines life wisdom and practical coaching tools to help people move beyond survival and into transformation. So her conversations are real and they're raw, and she says that she loves helping people. And let's introduce her, and, she can tell a little bit about herself. Hey, Camille, how are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great today. How are you doing?
Good. So when we spoke a little earlier, you were telling me about, your career prior. You want to tell everybody a little bit about your prior history and then how you came into this new life.
Sure. Well, it started out from the beginning of my adult years. I was a hairstylist and owned my own salon for 35 years. And I really had a lot of creativity, so I loved doing hair. But after so many years, it became more of a relationship business. My clients would come in and sit in my chair and we'd get started working on their hair or whatever we were doing. And they'd say, I knew I needed to come in and talk to you. So it became more of a talk business and helping clients achieve whatever it is they were struggling with and different ways of looking at life. And then and I did that for many years and I loved it. Unfortunately, doing hair is very physical and it had a lot of hard side effects, frozen shoulders and so forth. So I was getting a little bit tired of doing the hair, but I loved the relationships. And then when my youngest son died in 2010, I found the universe brought me new clients and they too had lost children. And I was helping them through their grief by just sharing what I did and how I helped myself. And it inspired me so much. I learned about coaching and I decided I wanted to do that because that is something I could do forever. As long as my brain is operating, I could help people do that. And it wouldn't have the physical side effects of doing hair. So I just started working on a way to get that done. And I did. And so here I am coaching people and helping them through some of the worst struggles in life and the deepest miseries. And I just find it to be so fulfilling, right? Because it's really being of service in this life of mine.
Yeah. So you've been doing this for 15 years. Do you still do hair at
Oh,
all?
yeah, of course I do.
You
Of
do?
course I do. It started when I did hair and coaching, and then the pandemic hit, and I decided to close my shop because I couldn't work. And I had a wretched, wretched landlord. And so I was so scared and miserable like everybody else. And my husband at the time said, "Why don't you just close the shop and just do your coaching?" And I was so loyal to my clients. I didn't know how to do that. So what I did is I continued on with a few of my most favorite clients that I'd been working on for over 30 years because I had one who was in her late years of life and I didn't want her to have to find a new stylist, for the last few years. And so I thought, well, I'll just keep doing her. And then it was, oh, but if I do her, I could also do her or him or whoever. And so yeah, it's more like a hobby now that I care for some of my friends' hair, basically.
And you do it at your house?
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to a person's house for my hair too, and she had a little salon in her
Right.
garage and stuff,
Right.
and
Right.
it
Because you
was
got
kind of
to
cute.
have proper ergonomics.
Yeah,
So
it,
anyhow, but it's been good. And I'm glad that I can still have that relationship with those friends and clients. It's really important to me. But coaching really is my passion.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I know we talked about what it meant to you, and can you explain a little bit about the loss of your son and how it made you feel and catapult you into this
Yeah.
coaching?
Well, it's kind of a long story, I guess, because it's a huge story. How does one do it, right?
Right.
I'll start with my son. He was a very challenging child. There was always something a little bit wrong in his head. And he was amazing at the same time. A great athlete, very popular. Everybody enjoyed him, but he also had a dark side. And when he went dark, he went really dark and he was very difficult to be around. So there was a lot of I would say, call him a love hate relationship because the dark side was nearly impossible to deal with. Teachers gave up, coaches gave up, because it got so dark. But I was his mom and I could never give up. So I always had to be in it with him. And he taught me so much creativity. So that was part of my lesson in human behavior and what more can we do and just being really creative because every, practitioner I went to, therapists, doctors, they all told me how he was normal and he was never normal. And as a mother, your children, there's something quite wrong. And
Mhm.
when it's wrong, it's wrong, but we couldn't put our finger on it ever. So there wasn't really any help for me with him. It was just all on me. Patience, resilience, creativity, and lots of love. And he was great. We were very connected and we understood each other. We understood his battles together, even though there were times when I was at great loss of what to do and how to offer him what he needed as a mom. I had successes and I had failures for sure. So meanwhile, my life was still continuing and I had other children and I had other traumatic things happen. And I started learning how to cope with them. And I think my best teacher was Byron Katie's work of learning how to love what is in life. My stepdaughter had lost her mobility, nearly died. It was traumatic. And I got shut out of her life being a stepmother. And it broke my heart so deeply. I didn't know how to deal with it. And so Byron Katie's work really helped me learn how to love what is and learn that it didn't work for me, but it worked for her. And all I had to do, my only responsibility with her was to love her. So I just focused on loving my stepdaughter and accepting all the things that I wish I could have changed. And so when my son ended his life, he was almost 19 years of age. And traumatic as that is, you're always going to be sad. People don't really realize that grief doesn't come to an end. It's always with you. And it's with you because it's a form of love. And if you didn't have that love, you wouldn't grieve. So, it's something to always try to remember when the pain hits and the wave is in you. It's because that was a very loving relationship and a connection. And I guess I can say when my son passed, I wasn't surprised, but I was definitely in severe shock, like anybody would be with a loss like that. And you go through all the spirals of crazy thinking, all the misery, and you go through moments of being numb and frozen and not knowing. But when I really sat with my grief and just grieved, and I thought all the horrible, horrible thoughts I could think, and they were thoughts of not being capable of being a mother to my other children, not being capable of even like connecting to my dog, my husband, my job, the shop that I was supposed to be running, and feeling like I was just going to be in this slippery, dirty slope of misery. And I was going to wallow there. And it was just all what I started observing about myself. And I'm going really fast with this. It did not move this quickly. But what I was really aware of is that all my thoughts were very selfish. It was all about me. I was never going to be happy. I was never going to smile again. And when I started hearing this, it was like, oh my God, I'm being a victim. And I don't like being a victim. I like thriving and finding my way through life. So I really started questioning my thoughts. And I could see that I was creating my own misery by the way I was thinking about it. And I could be happy. I imagined, what if you ran into a new batch of litter of puppies? Are you not going to be happy to see these puppies, or how about your grandchildren whenever they arrive? Are you going to be happy? So I could realize that I was lying to myself. Of course I'm going to be happy. And as I sat in this misery and started questioning all my senses, I felt like I had more of a spiritual connection, that a higher wisdom came to me and said, you're going to be better. And I started laughing. It's still very emotional for me because it was such a moving moment. Like, you're going to be happier than you've ever been because of your sadness. You're going to be a better mom, a better wife, a better dog owner. You're just going to be better at everything you do because you know so much more now. Your wisdom is so much broader. And that just made me laugh and cry at the same time. And it was so beautiful. And I was like, you're right. This is so true. I'm going to do that. And I just started doing it. And I never gave up on that. And it was what I'm going to do for me and for the service I provide to all the people in my life, not just my family, not just, the kids in my future. It's everybody. It's the person on the street to the friend sitting in the room with me.
How long did it take you? Was it like...
This Monday.com ad was created by a team of people and AI agents. The agents wrote the copy and managed the timelines, while our human creative director made sure it all made sense. Easy. Create your own AI agent today on Monday.com.
Years or
No.
months or
No.
weeks?
Days.
Days.
It took me days, but you have to remember, I had a massive toolbox that I could pull out of. Like, I went right back to Byron Katie and said, how can I love this? And that's a very hard concept for people to understand. How do you love something so painful? And for me, it was, I kept saying, I lost my son. And I just flipped it into, I had my son instead of losing him. So it was a gain. And that took a lot of weight and pressure off of my grief. And it became lighter, a little bit softer. And I saw my son's life as a full existence and such a gift that I was given. Now, I had never planned on seeing his entire life, but I did. And then there was that moment of my son wants me to be powerful. He always wanted me to be strong and powerful so I could manage his life and mine and everybody else's. And so now I know he also wants me to do that with his death for me and for everybody else. I know, and I really feel like we are spiritually connected, me and my son, and that the message is if I can be more powerful because he existed, then I am extending what he gave to me, which is an extension of his life. And that to me is much more powerful than being sad and miserable and feeling what I lost versus what I gained.
Mm-hmm. And so I have a question for you about that. Does he ever, like, is his presence around you at all? Or
Yeah.
do you believe in that? Or what do you think about that?
Yes, I think he is with me all of the time. And some of the kids, and when I say that, his friends and the siblings say the same thing. Like they feel something will happen and they'll say, like, Wes was with us today or this or that happened. So it's fun. We share it as a family. But I also say, like if you're grieving somebody, sit with them in spirit, give yourself time to be with them and just be open your heart. I've done this several times with my son where I'm just with him and he will come and I will feel him. And it's beautiful. It's very emotional, of course, but I'm always so grateful. Like, thanks for just letting me know you're here. And
Mhm.
sometimes probably most of the time, it's because I am feeling him and grieving him and letting that be with me. And then he'll just show up and just kind of be there. Other times it's just it's almost like a vibration. You just know and it's all okay. And he's fine.
So losing a child, they say, is maybe even harder than losing a spouse. Maybe, maybe not. There's arguments about that. But this child, your son, was, you know, part of you, inside of you. And then, right? So, I mean, to me, I'm not a parent, but I can see and feel and talk to my patients and my clients also about the feelings, and some people just can't get over it. Is there a tip or a trick to a mom or a dad that is really struggling? Maybe it's even been years and they feel like they just can't get out of it. Is it themselves or do
Yeah.
they, what do you
It's
think?
100% themselves. It always is. Whenever we are suffering, it's 100% us. So it's really the stories you tell yourself, right? So like when I was in my deepest misery, I told myself terrible stories, like I would never be happy again and life would never be the same. And I would always be miserable. Deep down inside, I was going to be miserable. And there's nothing like telling yourself a miserable story, right? And we all do it throughout our lives. We tell ourselves how we're not good enough or nobody likes us. We don't make enough money. All the terrible things we can tell ourselves, we do it. And when you're grieving, that's exactly what you're doing. You're only seeing your loss. And I just think that it's really important to, first of all, surrender. You really got to surrender to it because there's nothing we can do. And I really believe that lives begin and end exactly when they are supposed to, right?
Hmm.
It just is what it is. And whatever you believe in, whatever higher power, that is exactly true. We cannot control these things. So this is where your surrender comes in. And then you allow it and you allow your grief and it becomes like you're floating, right? And the feelings that come in and out of your body and they're just waiting there and you're just paying attention to yourself. Right. So I know when I start feeling grief or anything, I immediately wonder, what was I just thinking? What did I just tell myself to feel so much grief? And if I can identify whatever it is I just thought, then I can start examining it and getting very curious. And this is what I do when I'm coaching, right? I'm doing the work for you. You wouldn't have to get curious with your thought. I pull the thought out because you probably not even realizing you're thinking it. This is what most of us do. And then I can say, did you notice you just said this? Is this what you meant? Is this, how does it make you feel? Like, let's really look at that. What can we tell about this story that is equally true that lightens that a little bit, softens it a little bit, empowers you a little bit, something to just kind of flip it over and lighten it up. Give yourself permission to look at new perspectives of the entire story, not just part of it. So if you're only looking at loss, you're only going to feel sad things, right? More loss, more sad emotions, more grief. You'll look at everything as being not enough. But when you can look at the gain and the life and the privilege, what if I never had my son? I would much rather have had him than never have had him. So it becomes a different story.
Yeah, for 18 years, you were lucky to have him in your life. He
Yes.
taught you things, you said, those kind of things.
Well, it kind of, for me, put a lot together. For me, it kind of was the ending, when you finish a really good book and it put it all together for you. That's what a life is, right? So it put everything together. And I knew my son was never meant to live any longer. I know he struggled in his life, and I was glad that he stayed as long as he did. I was really grateful for that. And I was really grateful and honored to be his mom.
And he's helping you with your career now.
Yeah.
With all the things that has happened, and it's given you a tool. Do you think that a lot of your clients come to you for this type? I mean, do you have clients that were in the same situation as you? Are you attracting,
Yeah. Yes. There's grief in everything.
Mhm.
But yes, I've done a lot of coaching with parents who have lost their children. I've also coached a lot of people who are going through a divorce and they're feeling a lot of grief and loss from that. There's also grief when, and I think a lot of parents can relate to this, when your children get older and they're not doing what you think they should be doing or what you believe they would do. And they go through grief trying to control it. Maybe they have a substance problem, right? I mean, there's grief that shows up. And so it's just really working through that to understand, like, what is it that we believe that's making ourselves so miserable? There's grief with people who are giving a bad diagnosis with their own health and are looking at possibly dying. I've done that kind of coaching, even losing a career, right? And having to coach somebody into it's a new identity every single time. And so you're really creating these new identities, and you just do it like by loving yourself and allowing yourself to do it. You don't have to go backwards. You can go forward with all the information you have.
I love it. I love what you just said. Creating a new identity by loving yourself.
Yeah. It really is, I think, self-love. A lot of people don't give themselves permission. They think that they shouldn't, maybe. They shame themselves, like they have to be whatever they believe they have to be because of the terrible circumstance. But they may not even be terrible. They may just be thinking it's terrible.
Is that what one of your mantras is to love yourself, or, maybe?
Well, I think it's really important that we all love ourselves. Number one, how do we ever take care of anybody if we can't take care of ourselves? And love is very important. We're humans and we all need love. It's human nature. So, on a really bad day, even I have bad days, I always just ask myself, what is it that I most need today? And let's see if I can do that. Maybe it's an activity. Maybe it's a day of rest. Maybe it's a soak in a bath. I don't know. But it's always like, what is it that I need today to love myself and feed my own soul so that I can be better tomorrow or better this afternoon or whatever the circumstance is.
Do you have special things that you do every single day, or is it every day a different thing?
Oh, no, I think I love my patterns. I think most of us do, but I'm very scheduled with what I do. I wake up early, I meditate, I read, I have intentional thoughts that I want for the day and how my day to go. Like for you this morning, I'm like, oh, well, I really want to focus with great intentions on my interview with you today. And I look forward to that, right? So it's a very positive experience for me. But then I go for a walk and get some fresh air and enjoy the morning because I am definitely a morning person and really kind of fill out the rest of my day. I love to do stuff. So I'm not one who's going to say I'm going to sit and read a book for the day. I would rather be moving. So I have usually a day full of different types of movement. It might be cleaning my house or gardening or going for a workout or just a relaxing walk on the beach since I live on the coast.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, you do. Wanted to go back to your family. Do you feel like they were affected and are they thriving also now? Are you helping them?
It's a really good question. It's a loaded question.
Mm,
Everybody is grieving. Everybody was devastated. My oldest son was another form of grief for me because he actually found his brother and his brother hadn't quite died yet. So he died in his brother's arms. So that's another loaded form of grief I had to carry because I knew he was traumatized in a way that nobody wants for anybody. And so what I thought was interesting, and I was very observant of myself when this happened, even though my son had literally just died and I should be falling apart, screaming, crying. I wasn't. I was so concerned for my other son. And I had to get to him because I was away. I was out of town when this happened. So I had to get, last minute flight and get to my son because he was so traumatized by this. And that became my focus. And once I knew we were all together and I was there, like, a mother should be, right? Hovering over her babies and protecting them, then I knew we would be okay. He struggled a lot. It's an opinion, but I think he still has struggles, but he doesn't want to share them with me because he doesn't want me to worry about him. He's very
mhm,
protective of me. I'm very protective of him, right? So this is how we become with our children, right? We want to make it sure everybody's happy and our children don't want us to worry about them, especially when they're adults and maybe even especially as boys or men, they want you to believe they got it handled. So I think I'm always going to worry about him and hope that he's doing all right, knowing that he'll never share everything with me. But he does share with his wife, and his wife will share with me. And so I have that little leeway of information. So I know he's in really good hands.
mhm. And, one thing is he's had kids. So that means
Yes.
he's moved through
Yes.
that part. Like he's willing to have a child,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had twins. So it's, double the impact sort of thing. But it's super fun and they're doing a great job. And I'm just really proud of him. I wish he could tell me everything, but I understand why he does not.
Mhm,
He has people to tell. So he's not without, his support.
mhm. So you've been doing this for a while now,
Yeah.
coaching your clients.
Monday, AI agents took over my work. And I absolutely love it. Chasing deadlines, writing status reports, updating stakeholders. Agents handle the daily grind now. They live inside Monday.com, so they see the full picture. My work, my team, the whole company. And I don't have to worry about the data. It's safe, which means I'm free to focus on the big stuff, knowing everything runs smoothly in the background. It's completely shifted the way we work. Create your own AI agent in minutes on Monday.com.
When they had their hair done and now you're coaching others. And so you're like a mama bear
I
kind of
am.
coaching. And what would you say that people can get out of a coach? Who needs a coach? What's a
Yeah.
coach all about?
Well, coaching is really showing you the tools and giving you the tools, teaching you the tools to help yourself. And, where with like a lot of therapy, you're really processing things and you do process things with coaching, but it's not therapy. So I think coaching and therapy work really well side by side. I love to teach my clients how to coach themselves so that they can really catch themselves at where they're getting hung up in life and it's holding them back or slowing them down. We all do it. I do it. You do it. We all do it, right? And if we're not taught the right tools, we truly don't know how to take more action and build up the momentum we want in our life. It's human nature to see what we don't have. It's human nature to feel more negative than positive. So you have to work on training the way your patterns are in your head to train them, right? Like after my divorce, I was sitting in my yard and I thought I was lonely. And I sat there and I thought, the divorce was really hard and I lost a lot of friends and I felt nobody was reaching out to me. And so I had all the lonely thoughts of I don't have any friends and nobody cares and I'm lonely and I'm really sad about all of this. And then all of a sudden I caught myself again thinking these terrible thoughts and taking myself in a miserable way. And this is what you learn when you get coached. And I realized that I wasn't lonely at all. I was actually where I really wanted to be. I was in a very peaceful place. And I wanted that. That's why I divorced. And it was like so empowering to know like, oh, I'm exactly what I created in this peaceful place and not lonely at all. But that's what my brain was offering me. And it's funny when you catch your brain offering you a lot of BS that's not even true. But if you listen to it, you will believe it because it's your brain. But if you manage it, you can be like I did in my garden that day and realized it was peaceful. And I embraced that peace and loved that moment. So now I said to myself, okay, if my brain offers that again, I'm just going to step right into a peaceful way of living by choice.
By choice.
By choice. I'm going to choose peace because that's what I want. It's very important to me.
You're very powerful when you speak.
Oh, thank you.
And you know what? Some of the listeners, they're going to be on Spotify. They're going to be on the podcast. They're going to be on different platforms where they don't see your beautiful face and your beautiful skin and your beautiful hair. So I don't want you to look at my hair because, you're a hairstylist. I got to, right? But I mean, I look at you and I think, wow, you really are who you say you are and what you do and the devastating things that you've been through in your life. You can tell that you really have created a life for yourself that you feel comfortable with and you created a new identity and you love yourself and you take care of yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it's, obvious that Camille, in her words and even her presence and her physical presence and being, I feel like she has embraced life, empowered life, and is really thriving because that's what this is all about. I interview people who have lived, loved, survived, and thrive,
Yeah.
and so I think that that's you. What does live, love, survive, thrive mean to you?
For me, that really is living your best life. You're living in your life. You are in the present moment. You are loving it and you are coping with it. You are surviving any struggles you have and you thrive from them because every struggle is really just a lesson to become better, right? You get to learn new tools with every challenge you face. And if you can look at life that way, then you can see that you will have more resilience, more capacity and capability to do anything you choose to do. And it creates a momentum for you to be you and really embrace it and love it.
Are you only online for your clients or do you see them in person also? How do they get you? How do they get to talk to you?
I work over Zoom and they can contact me. My website is yourcoachcamille.com. And you can also email me at yourcoachcamille@gmail.com. And you can call me. My phone number is 831-246-1038.
You could also see it in the transcripts too later on when we send out this podcast. But thank you so much. This has been really helpful for me as well as learning something about you. And also for the listeners out there, those that have, struggled with losing a child, this is especially calling to you. I think if you could get a hold of Camille and, have a one-on-one with her, I mean, I'm sure that you would benefit from that. And you said that people that can get in touch with you, they could have a little one-on-one with you. Is that right?
Yes, I offer a free 30-minute mini session.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Is there anything else that you would like to say to the audience? Give them a tip or a thing that might help them today?
I think the biggest tip in life is when you're really struggling, it's because you're in your own way, right? You're doing something and it's not going the way you want it and you're judging yourself. Maybe you're shaming yourself. Maybe you're having very selfish thoughts like I did, right? This is very normal. Please don't judge yourself when you do it. Just notice it, journal it out. And you can even examine your journal and say, well, that's not really true 100%. So now you can change it. You can change your storyline to create momentum and the results you want to create within your life.
One last thing. I always ask my interviewees, I love cooking and I love food. That's what my Chinese part of my community is all about, cooking and eating. So do you have a special recipe? It could be anything that you love to cook. And do you have a little recipe that you want to share with us?
Oh my gosh. Well, I love to cook as well. I love to eat really whole, organic foods. So gardening and cooking are a great passion of mine. And I get to eat very, very well every single day of my life. I like to support really good farmers. I mean, it's a passion of mine. So when you say a recipe, I have probably thousands of recipes and they're all amazing. So I don't know that I could pick one off the top of my head right now, but I think it's really important to have a relationship with the food you eat so that you get the most nutrients out of it and you're enjoying it in the moment and your body will absorb it better because of the energy you're giving it. And then if the resources go all the way back to the way it was produced and farmed, you're also feeding the planet back with that really positive energy and helping yourself. So you're going to be healthier and you're going to feel better. And so is the world we stand on, right? But I like all foods. So I don't know that I could pick one right off the top of my head. My fallback, happy, feel good food is always chicken, rice, and vegetables. And, I will always be happy with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, folks. Well, you've heard it today on Live, Love, Survive, Thrive. And this is Dr. Kimberly Hubinet saying bye for now. We'll see you in a couple weeks. And this is Camille Ellis saying bye as well.
Bye-bye.
Stay tuned. Bye. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Live, Love, Survive, Thrive. I hope our time together has inspired you to embrace life's challenges, find the courage to overcome obstacles, and create a life filled with love, purpose, and fulfillment. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Your feedback means the world to me, and to help us continue to bring you stories and tools to empower your journey. And if you have a story of resilience, transformation, or thriving after adversity, I'd love to hear from you. Reach out to me directly at livelovesurvivethrive@gmail.com. You never know, your story might just be the inspiration someone else needs to hear. To learn more about me and my work, visit my website at www.drkimberlyhubinet.com. While you're there, be sure to check out my current book, Grid. Once in a lifetime, you get to start over. A guide to rebuilding and rediscovering life after loss. Get a sneak peek at my upcoming book, Live, Love, Survive, Thrive, a powerful companion to this podcast, and a heartfelt roadmap to reclaiming joy, resilience, and meaning after life's toughest seasons. You can also connect with me on social media. Follow me on Facebook at author Dr. and follow me on Instagram with the same name. And subscribe to my YouTube channel at Live, Love, Survive, Thrive for more inspiration and insights. Remember, you have the power within you to write your story and thrive beyond your wildest imaginations. Keep relearning to live, love, survive, thrive every single day. Until next time, I'm Dr. Kimberly Hubinet, and this is Live, Love, Survive, Thrive.